Alright, what is up YouTube? This is Jabari back again with Hill Armory, man. This is gonna be a good one, guys. Look, so I've been doing a lot of research and I've seen that there's not really many videos on the net right now that have just videos of people breaking down their firearms and doing cleaning videos and tutorials on how to clean their firearms. Now, if you guys don't know, it's obvious, taking care of your firearms is extremely important, just because you don't want to have to run into a situation where you need to use your firearm for self-defense and it not work because it's dirty or it's not being taken care of the way it should. I've been doing a lot of research online and I haven't really seen many informational videos regarding guns being cleaned and maintained, and how to break down your guns and put them to get back together. So a lot of y'all on the net got a shooting gun showcasing all these $2,000, $3,000 guns, but don't even know how to break down the firearm that you just bought and maintain them. So this is what this video is all about, y'all. If y'all are new here, make sure y'all drop a comment down below saying, hey, I'm new. Go ahead and like the video, comment, share it to your friends, man, and we'll get into it. Now, every time I shoot my firearms, I clean them right after. So pretty much my guns are already oiled up and lubricated and pretty much clean. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna make sure that I am doing it all over again, just to make sure for you guys out there who are new to firearms or want some more information about firearms and just trying to get some more knowledge and just trying to take care of y'all firearms, which y'all should. This is the video for y'all. So without further ado, I got two guns I want to break down and show y'all today, and we're gonna start off with that Glock. All right, guys. So this is my little new setup that I have. I'm using the GoPro footage, as you can see, so I can properly show you guys my breakdown steps of maintaining my firearms and things of that nature. All right, so as you can see, I do have some items, not too many items. I like to keep things short and simple. You don't need to do too much when it comes down to maintaining your firearms, okay? Now, the first thing I do have that I want to show you is the CLP. Let me raise that up for you. Now, this is the CLP one-step. It's pretty much the ultimate one-step solution for, firearms and things of that nature. Now, I use that for all of my firearms. I don't think there's anything else out there that I would rather use. So that's that. That's the CLP here. And then next, you have some generic gun oil. You can get that from pretty much anywhere. Probably get it online on Amazon. What I'll do is I'll probably drop some links down for you guys to have quick and easy access for, okay? And then I do have a rag. Just want to make sure I have a simple rag. It's already kind of dirty, but it'll allow me to get off, grime and dirt and things of that nature to make sure my Glock 19X is doing what it needs to be doing as far as cleaning wise and, just something crazy. Any rag will do. You guys, I'm pretty sure there's some gun rags, but I just use a simple rag. I don't think it matters too much, okay? Okay, so as you can see, we do have the Glock 19X. Like I said, she's pretty clean already. The first thing we always have to make sure we do is make sure that she is free and clear. So I'm going to do that now, okay? As you can see, we do have a loaded magazine, so we're going to make sure we take all the steps necessary to make sure that she's clean. As you can see, clear, clear, clear. All right, first things first, we're going to make sure the slide comes back. We're going to get access to, take the barrel off and access to the slides and things of that nature, okay? So now we have our three components that are out. For Glocks, they're pretty simple, guys. There's not much to it besides these four main components. We have the lower for the pistol. Looks like this. Okay. We have the slide for the Glock 19X. Boom. Just comes off like that. We do have the barrel for the Glock 19X. Pretty small. Okay. And last but not least, we do have the spring. Now, I love Glock because it's super easy to take off. It's not too much work you have to do. You don't have to undo any pins. The only thing you have to do is make sure that the gun is clear. You press your trigger down, and then you'll press these two. Let me show you if I can see it. Right, these two divots here. You want to make sure that this divot and this divot goes down simultaneously. You'll hold it down, and then you'll bring your slide back, and it should come off. Okay. All right. Let's get that out the way. Now I'm gonna start by just doing a brush over, making sure things all the grime and dirt is off of it initially. Okay. Now, like I said, it's not too dirty anyways. So I just want to make sure that I'm just doing the process as I would assuming I just got off the range and I'm trying to clean my firearms. Okay, I'll just get this little wipe down. Make sure that's all set, and then we'll get in here. Nothing too crazy. Make sure things are on one accord. Make sure you get in all the crevices to the best of your ability. Now, with that being said, guys, I know this is a pretty simple process. There are brushes and kits that you can get to get in the nicks and crannies. I do recommend that at some point, but if you're just doing regular maintenance, it's not as necessary as you would think it is. As long as you're, getting all the visible dirt and grime off, you can always double back and get products later. Real quick, since I am on this tidbit, I will show you. I do have a kit here. Probably not going to use it. I might use it for the AR. Get this balloon out of here. I would use this for the AR. I may do that in the next clip. But this is pretty much just a little cleaning kit that you can get. It has all the things, all the brushes for sizes. They have the dimensions. And some miscellaneous kits and brushes. Okay. Like I said, I do recommend this at later down the line. I don't think it's extremely important. This is an extended brush, so you can get down to the nooks and crannies. You'll take a brush like this. Get it in here. And then you will just rotate it in here until it gets, you get the point, guys. You'll basically attach this to the end, and you'll have more access to get things like the barrel. Clean the barrel good, and make sure things is not accumulating dirt on the spaces that you can't access with just a regular small brush or even just your rag. Okay, but right now I just want to focus on the Glock 19 next, making sure things is situated. So after I clean things down with this rag here, making sure the initial dirt and grime is off, I'm going to go ahead and use the CLP. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to apply. You don't have to use too much. Just want to make sure it's good and lubricated. I'm just going to spray some. I'm going to spray some on the slide, the barrel here, the slide. And as far as the spring, you guys, I'm sure the CLP wouldn't hurt for the spring here, but I was taught not to do anything as far as cleaning the spring. The only thing you need to do for the spring is wipe it down with the rag. You don't want to really mess up the integrity of the spring, just because it is pretty it's not the strongest thing. It's a little flimsy. I just want to make sure my spring is intact. So I'm not going to do anything other than wipe it down and make sure it's all good and clean, okay? I'm not going to really put any lubrication or any oil on there, all right? Now that we have things pretty lubricated, you can see that. It's pretty lubricated, guys, with the CLP. We just want to make sure that we wipe it down. See if we can get a close-up. So yeah, that's nice and lubricated. We're gonna make sure that we wipe things down and go over with a rag again, just to make sure that the CLP is in here doing its job, okay? All right, so we're gonna take our rag here, and we're just gonna go over it again, give it a nice scrub on each part, making sure things are good. Okay, getting the nooks and crannies as much as we can. Like for these parts here, that's a little intricate. A brush would be good just so you can make sure that you're not missing anything. But for right now, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to really worry about it right now. Okay. Guys, make sure you guys are like, commenting, and subscribing. We're on a road to 10K. So if you could, man, you know, smash that like button, smash this subscribe button if you guys are finding this video informational, helpful, enjoyable. I know when I was, you know, getting introduced to firearms, there wasn't too many videos that were up to date as far as weapon platforms are concerned, as far as maintenance. So I want to change that narrative, guys, and make sure you guys are coming along this process with me. Just because I love firearms, I want to make sure that I'm operating firearms safely, as you should as well. Okay, so that lower is set. Now we're just gonna go ahead and rush down the slide here. Just give it a good scrub. Make sure everything's intact. Okay, look at a little rub down. Just a little rub down. Make sure we get all the gloss out of there.
Okay.
Get the gloss out of here. Make sure it's not shiny anymore. Alrighty. Now, that slide looks pretty good to me, guys. Let me get a close up. Might be a little hard to see, but take my word for it, it is pretty clean. And lastly, we're just gonna run over our barrel. Make sure our barrel is good. Now, what I'm actually gonna do, because the barrel has an inside, I am gonna use a quick brush. It's not gonna be nothing too crazy. As you can see, it's not that dirty, but we are gonna use a brush really quick just for the sake of the video. Put a little CLP on there. And then we'll take a random brush. Let's see, I've already used this one. We'll just give it a deep little clean, okay? Make sure the outsides are pretty good. Boom. Okay, I'm gonna put this back here. All right, so as you can see, this is pretty clean as well. And like I said, we are not going to worry about the spring. I want to make sure the spring's integrity is as good as possible and doesn't get compromised by any of the CLP or the oil. I don't want anything to get trapped in there. All right, so as you can see, guys, that's pretty simple, short, sweet, nothing too crazy that you have to do. Now, similar to the CLP, all I'm going to do, guys, is take my oil and just run across it, you know, slightly with just a little bit of oil. Make sure everything is lubricated correctly. Okay. Don't have to worry about the inside too much. The side, the slides is the main thing that you want to worry about, just because it's metal, similar to the barrel. But the lower here, you don't have to worry about it for the Glock 19X specifically, because it is a different material. But just to be sure, for the sake of this video, just gonna rub that on across here. Make sure it's all nice up in oil. Some of these parts here. Okay. So that's pretty oiled up. And it looks like something like this. You know, normal, just clean and lubricated. Boom. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the slide here. We're gonna flip it over. I'm going to add our oil, making sure that it's nice and oiled. I think this is a little bit more important than it is as far as the lower, just because, like I said, it's that metal material. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the lower here is technically polymer, so it's a different consistency than the slide and the barrel here. But we just want to make sure everything is oiled up. Couldn't hurt, just to make sure things is okay, a-okay. Boom. Nice and oiled. Now it's gonna look something like that. Okay. Lastly, I'm just gonna go over the spring one more time. with the rag. No oil needed necessarily, and we should be okay. Now everything is pretty much cleared and lubed up rather. Everything is pretty much finished, lubed up, and clean. Now all we have to do is put our firearm back together, and we're going to start off by taking our barrel here, or our slide here rather, and we're going to put our barrel in first. So it goes in from this end, from the back. I always have a gauge where I make it go out the outside like this. Then I push it in, and it should sit flush. So it looks something like this. Okay. With these divots here on the outside facing upward. All right, from here we have our barrel here and our slide already in place. Now the only thing left we have to do is place in our spring. And so we take the longer, wider side and push it on the end of the barrel and the slide. And then we push it against each other until it fits on that little divot that's on the barrel. Now, if you do it correctly, it should look something like that. Okay, it's supposed to sit up a little bit. You do give it a nice little press down to make sure it's in place. All right, now all we have to do is put the upper and the lower back together. There's gonna be some divots here. Let's see if you can see that. Some divots, you line it up with the divots on the slide. Make them flush, push it back together, you should hear a click. So after you give your slide a few raps, guys, and everything seems like it's in place, you are pretty much finished. I mean, at the end, there may be some oil and residue left on top. I'll just go over it with a rag again to make it all pretty. And that is the finished product, guys. Nice, clean Gen 5 Glock 19X. Okay. Now, the next thing we are going to do is do the same thing with the ARs. Now, the ARs are a little bit different. It's going to take a little bit more time, but you'll see that in the next clip. But this is the Glock 19X cleaning process. All right, so I'll come back to you guys with the AR setup here, and then we'll get going. All right, guys, so next up we have the AR platform chambered in 300 blackout. Gorgeous, gorgeous gun. Let's see if we can get a profile real quick for y'all. There it is. Y'all see what I see. Okay, quick gun review. 300 blackout, I believe it's like 11 inches or something like that. Chambered in 300 blackout. She is loaded, but we're gonna clear that for y'all. Have the backup flip up sights, a compressor to, you know, get all of that blast out of my face, and we do have the AEMS core by Hollow Sun. Love, love, love this gun. You know, if I'm not carrying my pistols, I am carrying my AR. But we'll do some more shooting videos in a later video. You guys clicked on this video to see how I clean, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, so first things first, I'm going to separate. Actually, before I even do that, I'm gonna make sure I am clear. Boom, mag out. I am clear. You guys to see. Let me bring it closer to y'all. Guys, bear with me. I am still getting used to this GoPro. But as you can see, we are clear. So first things first, we're going to take out these two pins. We have a pin here and we have a pin here. We're going to release these pins so we can separate the upper from the lower. Okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to flip this out. I can leave this on fire, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna click this off. I'm gonna bring that pin off. As you can see already, this starts to lift up a little bit. But before I open it up, I'm gonna release this pin so the entire thing will come off. And just like that, the upper and the lower separates. Okay, so we're gonna set that aside. And actually, I'm gonna focus on the upper first. So I'm gonna set my lower on the side here. And so here we have it. We do have the upper receiver of my firearm. So guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to separate the charging handle and the bolt carrier group first, and then we can get to the cleaning. I'm not going to worry about my sight getting off. We can just leave it there. It's not really going to get in the way of things, okay? So what I'm going to do here, lay it flat, and I'm going to pull out my bolt carrier group and my charging handle, just like so. Boom. Okay, so we have our upper, we have our charging handle, and we have our bolt carrier group. Now, typically what I would do is go through the entire breaking down process of this bolt carrier group. I'm not going to get into it this video because I've already pretty much cleaned it. So it should be fine. I'll leave that for a separate video. But for the sake of, time, I'm just going to clean it as it is, make sure it's lubed up and cleaned. I'm going to make sure that my charging handle is clean. We're going to make sure that the upper receiver and the lower receiver are intact and clean as well. Okay, so just like the Glock 19X, I'm just going to start off by, making sure things are intact, and just getting some of that debris off. Like I said, not too dirty, guys. Okay, so it should look something like this, pretty clean. Okay, get that little scrub here. Next, I'm gonna take my charging handle, do the same. Okay, that looks all right. I'm just gonna give a little scrub down of the upper receiver. Make sure I get in these crevices as much as I can. As you see, not that dirty, but we're going to complete that. Okay, so we have these three parts here. Oh, one thing. Shouldn't be too dirty. You got a little bit of dirt here, but that shouldn't be a problem. Boom. Get up in there. Okay. Make sure that's still intact. Go ahead and put that on safe. Okay, cool. Fair enough. Pretty simple. Just giving things a little rub down. Now we're going to get back into it with the CLP. Give everything a little spray. Okay. Charging handle. Upper receiver. And lower. Now, I am being a little generous when it comes down to the CLP with my AR platform, just because the AR platform typically gets a little bit more dirty than the rest of my firearms, okay? Especially more than the Glock 19X. Just has more gas emissions, things like that. The shorter barrel with the higher caliber rifle, it just creates a lot of messy situations. So I do get a little generous when it comes down to applying my CLP and my oil. Okay, so everything's saturated with some CLP. Now I'll just give that a little shape down, a little rub. Make sure everything is nice and clean. Okay. Now, it's pretty easy to get this thing clean. As you see, there is some discoloration. In my experience, that's a little typical for me. I do have backup ones, but if you see this coming off a little bit, don't be alarmed. Your rifle is going to work just fine. Take my bolt carrier group. And like I said, I'll do another video, if you guys would like, of me going in depth on breaking down my bolt carrier group. Now, typically what you would do is you would take this pin out here, and then you will release this little lever, you'll take it out, you'll leave it down flat, and then it will release the inside of the rest of the carrier group. From there, there'll be a little pin here that you'll start cleaning. It can get a little dirty, especially if you haven't cleaned it a lot or frequently. But for the sake of this video, we don't have to really worry about that. Drop a comment down below if that's something you guys would want to see in the next video. But for right now, I'm just going to make sure this is cleaned. Okay, wiped off. Okay. And what I'm actually going to do is use one of my cleaning utensils here. As you can see, put it in the camera. Cleaning utensils, I'm going to run through. Make sure the inside is nice and clean. That should be good and fine. And next we are going to go down our barrel. Let me see here. Go down our barrel with do a little strip. Make sure that we get those crevices nice and clean. Now I imagine this will be a little bit dirtier than the Glock 19 next, just because, yep, as you can see, it's quite the it's quite the dirty rifle here. But these are the crevices. This is the point of the utensil to get through those crevices and make sure everything is intact. Okay, still not as bad as I thought it would be, but we are set now. Only thing I'm going to do now is finish wiping off my firearm, make sure things are, you know, good, running how they should be, and then we're going to give it some oil. Really quick, gotta show the lower receiver some love, okay? So we're going to quickly clean up this here. Guys, drop a comment down below what you guys use as far as your everyday carry and your AR platforms. I would love to see what some of my subscribers are carrying around and shooting around these days. I love this AR platform. Ever since I was little, I wanted one. When I finally became legal enough to get one, we went ahead and got one, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's very reliable. I love how much you can customize these things, swap them out, swap parts off. And you could do so much with these platforms. So if you guys are new into firearms, I would definitely recommend getting something in the AR category, just because it's user friendly. It's pretty easy to learn and get down packed and get comfortable with. It's a good introductory firearm for, you know, people who are looking to get into this space. So that looks pretty clean to me, guys. I'll make sure you guys can see a close-up. Boom. Okay, that is out the way. We're gonna rub this down really quickly. Like I said, don't have to worry about the optic too much. Make sure this gets nice and clean. So as you can see, guys, I'm not doing too much. There's nothing really complicated about this process. It's just making sure that we're getting all the gunk and the and all the grime out of the weapon. That's the main thing. If you can get to a point where it's not as black as when you shoot your firearm, you shouldn't have any problems with hangups or reliability issues. Okay. All right. So everything is in place. The final step here is just adding our gun lube. Okay. So I'm going to do that quickly. Boom. Okay. Have some on the sides here. Now I like being a little generous with the lube, or the oil rather. I like shooting my firearm after being clean and seeing that smoke come out of the barrel. I love that. But it's up to you guys' discretion. It doesn't have to be as lubed as I am lubing it. But I just like making sure my stuff runs really well and smooth. All right, just making sure each side is showing some love here. And as you can see, we are pretty lubed up, guys. Really glossy. That's how I usually know that we're good to go. And finally, we're gonna lube up really quickly the upper receiver. So I'm gonna put some drops down in here. And then we're just gonna hand manually apply it all through the proper sides, down the barrel, and that should be good. I don't know if you guys can see it from my point of view, but it is pretty lubed up here. Okay, guys? So with everything lubed properly, cleaned, the only thing we have to do left is, you know, put it back together, make sure things are applied the way they should be. So I'm gonna take my bolt carrier group. Actually, I'm gonna put my charging handle first. Put it in here on the bottom. Make sure I hear that click, click. Leave it halfway out, and then we're going to put in our bolt carrier group on top of it. Now, guys, make sure that this is all the way out. This piece right here, if it's not, it wouldn't go in properly inside. From here, you should hear a click, and that's how I know everything is flush and the way it should be in place. Now, the last thing we have to do, guys, is put our lower together with our lower with our upper. Getting a little mixed up here. So, just how we broke it down, we're gonna make sure that our pins are all the way out. And then we're gonna put our upper flush. Okay. We have one pin here. Should hear a click. Click here, and then separate one on the back. The second one here, click. Now, if you do everything properly, guys, you should be all set. We're gonna run the charging handle here. All right, so that is simple, guys. Final steps, all I'm gonna do is make sure that I am getting all the excess cleaning stuff off of it. And just like that, guys, we have a clean AR-15 300 blackout, guys. So like I said, you know, that process was super simple. You know, the main thing is ensuring that after every time you shoot this firearm, or any firearm that you have, that you are, you know, doing the maintenance of just, you know, cleaning it, wiping it down, applying some oil, and applying some cleaning solution to make sure that the gun is running smoothly. I'd rather do this, you know, do a quick breakdown every time I shoot my firearm, rather than, you know, shooting my firearm and then doing like a 2-hour-long session to make sure my thing is extremely clean. I'd rather, you know, just maintain what I already have as soon as I shoot it. That way, it saves you that headache in the long run. All right. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video. Y'all drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the video in total. Now, this is my first deep dive of a cleaning video on YouTube, so, you know, all comments and all recommendations are welcome. Now, with that being said, I said this a little bit earlier, but we gotta change this narrative of, you know, just showing guns, buying new guns. We gotta really get into the safety measures and the precautions and the maintenance aspects of these firearms, because the last thing we want is for us to buy something that's, you know, $2,000, $3,000, even $1,900. It doesn't matter what price point it is. We don't want to spend money on something that might not work when we really need it. Okay? So with that being said, drop a comment down below your favorite part of the video, suggestions on new videos in the future, and stay tuned. Drop the comments, drop the likes, and put post notifications on so you guys don't miss any other videos in the future. All right, other than that, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.